Hello everyone and welcome to the Ariella Edit. Alright, another video. So, I've noticed something in myself, and I started noticing this shift when I was practicing looking more intentionally in the content I consume online while scrolling on social media. I started noticing a shift. Less of the content I was watching was beauty tutorials and luxury vlogs, shopping hauls, and productivity tests, and more was about cultures, like different cultures around the world, learning different languages, spirituality, and meaning-based content. I didn't plan this, but it did happen naturally over time, and it definitely made me more curious. I wanted to understand the shift, and if it was only happening to me or to society in general. And honestly, when I started looking, I did kind of notice a bit more of a pattern. There are more people looking for more connection and meaningful content and discussions again. Why does it feel like everyone's suddenly looking for more meaning? We were told success would be enough. Grind culture. I was a very young teenager during this time, but a lot of millennials, they were just becoming adults. They just entered adulthood, and I remember grind culture, and I was eating those videos up. And I was doing that because I wanted to prepare myself as much as I possibly could for the future ahead of me. I wanted to know how to work hard, work smart. I wanted to know everything about 401k and learn as much financial literacy as I possibly could. So once I hit 18, I would be fully prepared, and I would be destined for success. So I was golfing all of these up, and my goodness, that was, some of those views were helpful. I'm not gonna hold you. And honestly, it was just it did honestly though did make me feel more prepared to be an adult, which made growing up and senior year of high school, like all that type of stuff, it made it so much less scary. But the formula we were given was to work hard, get successful, make money, build life, and that was supposed to be equal to fulfillment. That was the promise. Success equals happiness. But reality is more complicated. You can achieve things and still feel empty. You can check every box and still feel like something is missing. I remember, I'm an ARMY, I love BTS, and I remember I was watching one of the videos from RM, and he was talking about how he was sometimes still struggling with depression and deep, sad, deep thoughts. And I remember when I was watching that video, it was very jaw-dropping for me because they're so successful and they have so many people that love them all across the world. And I just thought it was so interesting that even though they've reached such a height of success and fame, that they can still sometimes have some dark thoughts sometimes. Achievement and meaning are not the same thing, and that's something that I honestly had to learn. I did not know this automatically. We've never been more connected, but also so lonely. And loneliness isn't necessarily that you don't have people around you. It's the fact of having people around you that you don't feel like you can express your most authentic and unveiled self. You can't share your thoughts. You always have to kind of like only give a piece of yourself, but you can't be the full person, or else you'll really be alone. We can talk to anyone instantly. We can see everyone's lives in real time, but emotional closeness feels weaker than before. Connected, but not necessarily close. A lot of relationships now are digital, fast, surface level, and impatient. Humans historically lived in communities, families, and shared traditions where the way they were raised, they were all so deeply intertwined and connected that loneliness wasn't as a big problem as it is today. We didn't just lose connection, we changed what connection looks like. And I think there's both benefits and problems to this, and I honestly believe that we as a society, when it comes to creating communities, building communities, feeling connected, and also feeling lonely and feeling sad and not really being able to look around us and find people we can show our full authentic selves with, I do believe we will eventually find a solution for these problems, and we will create ways and make patterns to, like, because I don't think AI and tech is going anywhere. I feel like we're going to eventually find a way to integrate it in our lives that is healthy for us. Call me optimistic, but I definitely see a bright outlook for us because we're having the important conversations. We are looking for the right things. We're looking for the connection and the meaning and how to create that, how to make the third spaces. But I feel like for a lot of people online, everything feels like it's changing too fast. Trends are moving constantly. Careers aren't stable like they used to be. Pay is not paying. Social norms shift quickly. Even identity feels more flexible now. Nothing feels permanent anymore. And if you're like me, who loves stable, rock solid things, okay, stable ground to move on, times like this can definitely feel a bit irritating. When everything's unstable, people naturally look for something grounded, something meaningful, and something consistent. And that's where philosophy, spirituality, and tradition come in. Self-improvement wasn't enough. Self-improvement starts productivity, routines, optimization. Be your best self culture. And it was honestly presented to me when I was a young teenager that this would be the key to my success. is be as productive as possible, be as disciplined as possible, have the best routines, and your success will be inevitable. And the reality is, to give a very nuanced perspective, I genuinely don't think that it was bad advice. I definitely reached a lot of my goals way quicker when I am more disciplined and when I am more focused and when I wake up every day with a goal in mind and I'm like, I'm going to work hard, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to grind. But the problem is, it definitely was imbalanced. We do need time to rest. We do need time to look at our goals and ask, why do I want this? Is this actually the right goal for me? Have I done enough research to know if this is a lifestyle that I genuinely want to live? Blah, blah, blah. But anyways, more productive was brought up to me as the equivalent of being more happy. But eventually people realize you can be efficient and still feel lost. You can optimize your time and still not feel fulfilled. The shift happens from how do I do more to why am I doing this? Spirituality is coming back. Spirituality doesn't mean religion, although I do think it's growing in numbers too. It can also be meditation, journaling, faith, philosophy, mindfulness. Online, I'm seeing where people explore old age religions, Wiccan, witchcraft. There's practices that were done millennia ago, and they're bringing it back. And I think it's really all about meaning, feeling meaningful, adding meaning and something spiritual into your life. And I don't think it's really about the labels. It gives people structure, reflection, emotional grounding, and a bigger perspective on life. It answers questions productivity culture really couldn't. Who am I? What matters most? And what is a good life? And how do I attain that? We're overstimulated but undernourished. Constant content consumption, always scrolling, watching, reacting, results in information overload. It also results in us remaining in a sedentary state where we're not actually putting any of our ideas, passions, desires, or goals into action. We're too busy researching it, scrolling online about it, reading small clips online about it, but we're not actually getting up and doing the action, getting up and creating the thing, going up to people and starting the conversations in real life, in person. So much input, but not enough depth is what social media has become. Entertainment is everywhere, but meaning feels rare. So, yeah. Information that you get online is varied. Not all of it's wisdom and not all of it's actually meant to help you. A lot of it is meant to keep your attention, but it's not necessarily here to help you feel fulfilled. And that's why long form content and cultural videos feel so refreshing. I love those type of videos where I'm watching a travel vlogger, and not like one of those weird ones that are like disrespectful to the country or the culture they go to, but the ones that are low-key approaching it as if they're anthropologists. They go to this culture, they learn the language, they show the beautiful sides of the country, not just the good, but also the bad. And they even sometimes, if people are okay with it, like talk to the locals. And I like it when like in the video when you can see them ask. It makes me feel better instead of like, because I have seen some people on the internet where they're in a different country and they just like kind of flip their camera towards people like, hey, such and such, and the person's like, what? Because they didn't consent to being online, they didn't want to be in your video. I like it when someone asks first and like they're not showing the person, they're like, hey, can I ask you a question from your video? And the person's like, yes. I'm like, okay. But yeah, I also like the spirituality content because I just find it interesting. I'm always curious about, I think this goes into the cultural content, like what was the religions that they practice and why did they practice them? What was the way that they thought about life and why was it that way? And yeah. None of this is new though. We've been doing this for centuries, almost in a cyclical nature. Humans have always asked, why am I here? What matters and what makes life meaningful? The questions are old. The world is new. What's different now is the environment, technology, speed, and the digital space. But the human core and our needs have never changed. We still want the same things. We still desire the same community. We still want to feel loved and valued by the people around us. We still want to look out into our city and feel like we are a healthy and happy part of it. We still want to see people and view them as a friend. All of these things, we still want them. And they've gone nowhere, no matter how much the world elevates and becomes something new, upgrades, and just no matter how far we go, we will always be human. And I think our humanity is what grounds us when our minds get too far into space. Anyways, what we're really searching for is not just about spirituality or trends. It's about something deeper. We want connection, we want meaning, not just to others, but to ourselves, to values, and to something bigger than just our 9-to-5 daily routine. So maybe we're not losing direction. Maybe we're just trying to remember what actually matters to us, to our culture, to our society, to the world at large, and how could we be a happy, helpful, meaningful part of it. So I guess for today, my question for you guys is this. Do you feel more drawn to meaning-based content lately? And if so, what have you been watching? I would love some new recommendations. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I really hope that you found it insightful, meaningful, useful, and I hope that you have a great day. Thank you so much, and please like and subscribe and give feedback in the comment section. I would love to know how I can make my videos better, more entertaining, more valuable for you guys. And thank you so much for being here. Bye.